Hey everybody, it's January 13th, 2013. This is Dan Boul coming to you from my office at 65 Amps in Los Angeles, California. I've lost my voice from NAMM, so please pardon me today as I sound like Louis Armstrong with a hangover. I'm going to do my best to talk. I'll probably have to limit the show to about an hour. But Mitch Gordon here, not Mitch Colby, although a friend and a fan of his. Cool. Mitch Colby's a good friend of mine. I admire Mitch a lot. Anyway, we just got back from NAMM. Hey, McSex Stooges, you're here. It worked. And Stratocaster Mojo. All right. A lot of the regular guys. I appreciate it. We got a good crowd developing here. For those of you that are watching the recording, which is most of you, there's a large chat window over here on the other side of the screen. So the reason I'm not looking into the camera the whole time is I'm trying to read and answer questions. I can't really put my camera right where the chat window is. But there's a lot of guys on here. Looks like we've got 40 or 50 or so. I can look on the dashboard. It's kind of interesting. So there's a lot of people that lurk, and it works really well. It says, Dan, you sound like a bad tube with a starved plate. McSex Stooges 5. I just have some very, very tired vocal cords. The great thing about our new booth at NAMM, which was very well received and highly photographed, is that we can play as loud as we want. And the bad news is we can play as loud as we want. I had to yell over those amplifiers the whole time. And my brother Peter was not able to be there for the whole weekend because Miss Crow had an emergency situation where she needed Peter. And so I did all the demos. And my throat is completely trash. The good news is I'm in zero distress whatsoever, other than I'm still really exhausted. Saturday was our party. Was anybody here at our party on Saturday? It was good. Was the best received. Hey, Neckham. Yeah, actually, I think this was the best party we've done. Mike was on fire Saturday night. I mean, those guys were just rocking. And then, Orianthe Panagaris, Ori warmed up for them and sat in on a couple of songs. But we brought Earl Slick over. And Earl needs 3 producers for the Bowie stuff going on this year. And he's paying for them. Earl is kind of known for, using lots of different gear. But he's actually buying these. We brought Earl along to the party and asked if he could sit in with Mike, and Mike was very excited about it. And it was very well received. There's some video. I have a lot of videos and photos I haven't published yet because we've just been working our butt off. Netcom, I'm sorry, I don't have my glasses on. Your question was, what was best received? Everything did pretty well. I mean, everybody loved the Producer 6L. And the Redline Soho seemed to get a lot of traction. We got a lot of orders for that. And this makes it so much more affordable at $18.95. And had a lot of guys come in skeptical, it's not going to sound... Well, it's the same amp, it's just different transformers. And people really liked it. And the price point's very attractive, so... there's going to be a lot more. There's going to be a lot more videos on YouTube. We've all just been working so hard. I really haven't had time to do anything. I haven't had a chance to upload all the stuff that I have. And I'm sure some people got some higher quality videos than cell phone videos. There is a strict policy there about videotaping. When you got guys of that stature there, they don't like to have their stuff published on the web, so it's all bootleg video. I have one on my phone, but then my phone died right about 30 seconds into it. It's hilarious. Here, I'll show it to you just for fun. Let's see how well it does. Let's see what we got here. So there's Earl Slick. Mike Campbell right next to him. And Ori's there. That's at the ballroom in Fullerton. There's Earl's producer. Ori brought her EVH amp, which sounded like a leaf blower. And so Mike's tech. There's Earl. It gives you an idea. Mike Campbell's tech was there right next to me the whole time, wiggling that camera in time. His name's Steve Winstead. Everyone calls him Chinner. I've known Chinner for a long time. He's a really hilarious guy and arguably the hardest working tech in the business. And we had a lot of fun, but my phone died. That's why the video stopped. My phone was roasted from NAM, and I didn't get a chance to charge it. So anyway, yeah, all of our apps seem to do pretty well. The Ustreamer 813493. What's up, Dan? Hey, man. I'm just here nursing my worn-out voice. I think if you're showing up as Ustreamer, you have to refresh your page 2 or 3 times, apparently, to get back on the show. So anyway, the only new things we had is Guitar Dom. Hey, how are you, Guitar Dom? What the hell was I saying? I'm really worn out still. Sorry. What was I talking about? Oh, so the amps. The only two new things that we released were the Producer 6L, which you guys here on the show are already pretty familiar with, and the Redline Soho, which was really well received. But we sold lots of Tupelos and Elvises and Empires and the original London. Ventura was really, really popular, especially with the new price. Everybody seemed to really be into it. Sorry, I got a big text here. Yeah. You know what? I got to answer this one. I'm sorry. Hang on 1 second. This is really rude, and I apologize. Oops. And I can't multitask very well today. Sorry. Man, I'm tired. I can't even type. I'm really sorry about this. This one's important. La la la, talk amongst yourselves. Okay, there we go. You don't want what I'm having. I'm having very serious mental and physical exhaustion. NAMM is a 4-day adrenaline fest, and then we come back here and close like 50 deals. People want to come to the shop. So my adrenal glands are like little raisins right now, shooting out dust, going psst, psst, psst. I'm actually very happy. I just can't show it on my face. Excuse me. So anyway, everything seemed to do really well, and we sold a lot of amps. And the whole show was really positive. I think just the vibe at the show this year was better. People are more optimistic. Any new artist? Yeah, Earl Slick's buying amps from us, and Earl's kind of known for taking a lot of gear from companies, but he's been wanting our amps for a long time, and I always said, Earl, I don't give away any free amps. Even though he is one of my heroes. I mean, it's a guy that played Rebel Rebel and Gene Genie and, blah, 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 blah. It's all Earl Slick from 1974 on. He was on those records and those tours, the Bowie stuff. And he's a really, really nice guy. He's so friendly. And all he wants to do is play rock and roll. So we get along very well because of that. And so Earl ordered 3 producers for a tour that's a secret. And we're going to start making those right away. So there's a lot of artists in the booth. Andre Mack mentions that. Hi, Peter. I sound like you. Are you sick? Yes, a secret with a certain thin white dude. That's right. Buck Dharma from Blue Oyster Cult was hanging out a bunch. We had the girls from Dead Sarah came in, and they want some producers. They're gonna open up for Muse this year. And so both of them ordered amps, Emily and Susie. There was another guy there. I can't remember his name now. He plays for Justin Timberlake. He ordered an amp. And a guy that plays for a super pop act. I've completely forgotten who it is now. Earl liked the Producer 6L. He played both. At the party, he played the EL, and because that's what we had there. But he came in like Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and hung out a lot. I got to sit on the floor and just play guitar with Earl Slick. It was great, and he actually said I could play rock and roll. Excuse me. And Keith Scott was there from Bryan Adams' band. Also one of my favorite guitar players from back in the day. I was an okay Bryan Adams fan, but I always thought Keith Scott was amazing. And Keith Scott wants to check out an Empire, I think. That's the one he was enjoying. He played, there was a bunch of guys that came in and played, and they all say, oh, great amps, whatever. It's a lot of happy talk at NIM. But, yay, Joe Riggio, you're there. Yes, I see you. Keith is a very sweet guy, very soft-spoken, very gentle person, and just plays the hell out of the guitar. I mean, he just sat around playing like jazz and rock stuff, and it was just, oh, God. Oh, excuse me, that came out of nowhere. That's how I feel right now. I probably won't feel normal for another week. But I apologize, guys. I'm trying hard, I swear. Anyway, it was a very positive show. I'd love to sound a lot more excited about it, only this is just all the energy I have. So, bear with me today. Earlier, a guy asked about EF86s and the modern production ones. Which one do I like? I've had a lot of coffee already. I had to take our Norwegian dealer to the airport this morning. I left my house at 5:45, so That doesn't help. It doesn't help at all. But regarding EF86s, there's only two companies making them right now, JJ and Electro Harmonics. They both have strong points. We found the Electro Harmonics one to be the most consistent and the least microphonic. The JJ sound pretty good. They seem to be wildly varying in gain. You'll get some that are just crunch, and then you'll get ones that don't have much gain at all. We found them to be too inconsistent to use right now. And in all fairness, I haven't checked them in about a year, so I might want to double check that. But the Electro Harmonics one, we worked with Electro Harmonics with Mike Matthews to get it right. So they took our input for 3 years. We worked on that tube with them. So that one's kind of made how we want it. And the microphonics are really low on those. I mean, they're still microphonic. I mean, let's talk about EF86s just for a second in case you haven't heard this spiel. There is no such thing as a dead quiet EF86. You can always go ting, 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 and it'll ring. And you can always sit there with your guitar and go kunk, 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 and get some noise out of it. That's okay. That's normal for that tube. Don't be scared. It's not a bad thing. You'll never hear it when you're playing. Of those two production tubes, we found the Electro Harmonics one to be much less microphonic than the JJs. So that's all I got to say about that. What other questions do you guys have? Somebody said, I dig Earl. The Dirty Knobs footage with him was awesome. Which Dirty Knobs footage have you seen? I haven't seen any videos yet. I've just been working 24/7 since NAMM. Could you post them on my on the 65 amps page? Could you post a link to it? Earl's fun. We knew he was digging the amps because he started playing like Diamond Dogs and stuff on it. You can always tell when the artists are digging the amps because they start playing their work songs. You know, Keith Scott started playing Cuts Like a Knife, and we're like, yeah, there we go. That's starting to happen right there. But anyway, yeah, so NAMM was really fun. Like I said, I think it was a very positive show. Everyone seemed to be doing a pretty good business. We did notice there were a lot of our peers who are not there, which was kind of scary. The boutique market, you know, there's not that many guys left that have been in business more than 3 or 4 years. And we're seeing some sort of cautiousness in the market like that. People want to make sure that these guys are going to be around. And Stratocaster Most, Dan from Salvage Custom said your boost sounded good all show. Yeah. I just got a text. Who is this? 585. Can you guys see that text? Hey, I just ordered my 3rd Tupelo. There it is. Right on. Whoever you are, I appreciate it sincerely. I'll respond to you shortly. Yeah, it was neat. Dan left me a Salvage Custom board, which when I get my rig up, I'll put it up here. I'll put my Strymon stuff on it. And everybody needs 3 Tupelos. I mean, if you only have 2, think about what you're missing. You know what I'm saying? Oh, I want to bring something up here on the show. A very good friend of mine, Tim Mitchell, who is on the show quite a bit. He's on his Death Ride 69, was at NAMM displaying his pedal boards, and his Ventura got stolen off the floor at NAMM. And the only way that can happen is if another vendor stole it. Ustreamer 981, you're going to have to refresh your browser, I think, to 2 or 3 times to be able to get in with your name. I don't know why that is. Anyway, please write this down. There's a Ventura head out there with the serial number 12 11101 that was stolen from NAM. I want to say that again. It's a Ventura head. Serial number VH1211101. It was stolen from NAM. If you find it, please get a hold of me. That's from our good friend Tim Mitchell. Very good friend of ours. So if you're in music stores and you see a used Ventura head, look on eBay, Craigslist in your local areas, all that kind of stuff. Find this head, I'll make it worth your while. And if you can prove to me that you beat the hell out of the guy who stole it, I will give you a free amp. No, I can't say that. I'm kidding. I won't do that. Somebody will take me seriously and I'll get charged with murder. Only a joke, a bad joke at that. So, test. No, you're still Ustreamer. Still Ustreamer. Help all. I think you have to refresh your browser. Maybe even empty your cache and refresh it. Ustreamer 427218 says, hi, Smiley. Hi. Does the master voltage work the same way with the high current, low voltage transformers? Yeah, it works exactly the same. Sorry, 197090. No test. Doesn't work. No name there. Still Loadvar. All right, Loadvar. Loadvar the Magnificent. It seems like the right thing to say with a name like Loadvar. So yeah, if you guys run into that amp, please help me out. Help our friend Tim out. I'm getting all these texts from people I don't know. Thanks again for everything, Dan. Okay. Who is this? I have no idea. Oh, it's Niall. Different one. You're welcome, Niall. We're becoming a very social media show here. M. Bolta says, hey, Baseface Josh, you made it. How'd you do it? Tell everybody. Share the secret. M. Bolta says, Dan, have you tried the Celestion Creamback speaker? Yeah, I played it on the show a couple times, actually. It's good. It's really good. It's a little darker than the G12H30. It's more like an M, you know, the greenbacks. A little darker speaker. Big and fat sounding, though. It's good. I liked it. Baseface Josh says he just refreshed the page. And Pikachu, or Pikachu, Duke, you funny guy, they just refreshed their page. And if you don't know how to refresh your page, if you're on a PC, you hit F5. And if you're on a Mac, you go to View and push Reload Page. Reload Page. So, God, I look really tired and pissed off. I'm not, actually. I'm just really tired and happy. I'm not pissed off at all. Hit Alt F4. Yes, on a Mac. Is that what it is on a Mac? I always just do it from the menu. Oh! I'm sorry. This is post-NAM craziness. Crazy, crazy, craziness. I apologize. Look deep into my eyes. I'm tired. I'm very tired. Any word on ideas you have for PCB amps? Yeah, I think we're going to do it. We're going to, of course, do it in a neurotic fashion. I have a prototype here. I should just bring the board in maybe and show you. But big, heavy 4-ounce traces, very heavy, rigid board. Same components that are in our amp, so just putting it on a board. It takes 80% of the labor out of the amp. So that'll allow us to drop the price even more. But on our printed circuit board ones, hi Doug Gilliam. Doug Gilliam. And for those of you showing up as Ustreamer, you need to refresh your page. So, yes, on the printed circuit board stuff, we're going to be able to add more feature functionality, because if I were to build a hand-wired amp that has all the features of a printed circuit board amp, heavy like THD, exactly, big heavy board. Military board is all they are, just military boards, and they only cost like $3 more. I don't know why everyone doesn't do it. But that way it's rigid, so it doesn't bend and the traces don't get weird. And most people use a 1 ounce trace on their board. We're using a 4 ounce trace. I might use a 2 depending on, but I mean everything, even the big high-end printed circuit board amps use a 1 ounce trace. So we're going to go bigger. It's just more copper, easier for the signal to get through. Make it sound as close to hand wired as possible. I'm not quite sure on the functionality. The first one I'm going to do, I think, is a 30-watt amp. And it'll have a lot of functions. But it'll have channels on it, definitely. That's 4 louder, isn't it? That's right. Must have an English guy on here. Ustreamer 0. Tube will still be chassis mounted. Yes, yeah, right. Tubes and transformers will still be chassis mounted. Probably some of the pots and switches too, but we're not sure. We're not there yet. We made, just for fun, I spec'd out one for a Ventura. It sounds great. I mean, I can't tell the difference. And just wanted to see, because I was very skeptical about, is it going to sound right? And the one that I got sounds great. I mean, the board's like this big, though, for a little Ventura, because we use such heavy materials. But the main thing is there's a lot less wiring that has to go on. So it's just, instead of having 8 to 10 hours labor, on labor, it can be 2 hours, and you don't get cheap guys building these amps. And we have master builders. They're expensive. So that can cut the price down even more on these amps. And then, they'll have more features and functions. And I think the goal is that they sound every bit as good as what we do now. So just make it more affordable. We might do some versions of our existing amps. I think if we do that, we're going to, add stuff to it. I don't want to just make a printed circuit board Elvis. There's got to be a reason to buy it other than that, because I'd rather you just buy an Elvis. Plus, when we get into this price range, we got to appeal to a little broader audience. So, we'll put reverb on them and stuff like that. And series parallel loops and different gain structure things. It's real easy to do on a printed circuit board. So, if I were to build an amp that complex, hand wire to be as big as my desk, So, but tube reverb. Spring. Andre Max says, "Are you concerned your PCBs will cannibalize your own market?" Not really. There's some guys that just want a hand-wired amp. Some guys that don't. And on the practical side, as a businessman, all the money that I make selling PCB stuff is just going to fund designing new hand-wired amps. So that all trickles down, So it's like you're pouring the magic in at the top, which is cash, and then it trickles down to everything. So, when we do a printed circuit board amp, it's going to have all of our experience and expertise in it, and my neurosis that I have about making things right. So I think they'll be different. I'm not going to say they're going to be revolutionary. I think it's very safe to say they'll be evolutionary. So, that printed circuit board market is pretty saturated with a bunch of mediocre amps. And they're so cheap that you don't mind if you buy a $600-700 amp and it's a piece of shit and it only works for a few years. We're going to try to get our prices between $800 and $1,200. Only make you a keeper. Make you something you can be just as happy with as you are hand-wired stuff. If that's the way the market turns out, that's fine. It's not real. I'm still going to be designing hand-wired amps and doing that because That's what the pros want, and that's what the enthusiast wants. But I have no illusions that for a lot of people, this is a serious investment. So I know for every hand-wired amp we'll sell 10 printed circuit board amps, at least. So if it's done correctly. I mean, I just can't put my logo on something and go, here, buy it. It's got to be worthy of our brand. And I think you guys know me well enough to know what that's all about. M. Bolton says, any hints on new hand-wired designs? I haven't decided yet. I know I'm going to do a 100-watt bass amp. And I think we're going to flesh out the red line a little more. And I want to do another high current, low voltage amp this year. Probably do it with 66s. Probably with 4 6Vs, but it's only going to end up being 30 watts, 25 watts, maybe 30 watts. Should be really nice. I could do it with 4 EL84s too. Just depends. But I got to design the power transformers first. So I could technically use. It's not low enough though. I could use the power transformer out of the producer, but it's just overkill. I mean, things this big. I could use that for 4 6Vs though. That would probably work actually. That's my Alfred Hitchcock face. And yeah, the 10th anniversary of London, I already got too much on my plate. Yeah, I do everything cathode bias for 2 reasons, one of which it sounds better. Grid bias is a functional thing, makes your amp louder, and you get more output with grid bias. But you get much more harmonic content with cathode bias. And there's some problems with cathode bias that you can get around pretty easy. Like cathode bias is not quite as fast and snappy as grid bias. But if you filter the AC correctly, you can make it act exactly the same without it being harsh. Grid bias amps can be kind of harsh. So with cathode bias, you can put more elegant treble in it, and the harmonics are just much nicer. Ustreamer 744-605, I think you have to refresh your browser in order to be able for me to see your name. It's okay if you just want to be a Ustreamer. I don't mind. Let's see, who do we with? Well, we got a big crowd here. Let's see. Andre Mag, B767-400, Bassface Josh, Bluesman Core 1965, Doug Gilliam, Eric Storr, Frank Schauderfer, hey Frank, how are you? Fuzz Tone, Guitar Dom, Joe Riggio, Joe, thanks again for the guitar, we love it here. Just let me know when you need it back. It's extremely generous of you to leave that here. Knut Berga, Les Fenderson, Loadbar, M. Bolta, Mixex Stooges 5, Mitchless, who's identified himself as Mitch Gordon, Norwegian Slow-Mo, Pikachu, RJ Sanders, Duke, Rob Ballas, hi Rob, Rockabilly 12, Stratocaster Mojo, Tartan Special, Troy's Lab or Troy Slab, or whatever the case may be. Troy, is that Troy's Slab or is that Troy's Lab? And then a whole bunch of other guests. Mickey Kid. Yeah, refresh your browser, Mickey. If you're on a Mac, just go to View and hit Reload Page. If you're on a PC, Troy Slab. Okay, cool. If you're on a PC, hit F5. Well, you might have to do it several times, apparently. That's what people are saying. Which I think that qualifies as bullshit. Let's see. See if I show up. No, I show up. Well, aren't I lucky? Aren't I lucky, lucky, lucky? So what other questions do you guys have? Those are good questions you're asking. I appreciate that. They're thoughtful questions. I need a latte. Yeah, I do. I need like 4 Red Bulls and some crack. You know what I need is a nap. I need to sleep. There it comes. Oh, I'm sorry. I apologize. I can't help it. T-shirts are ready. Hang on. I'll go get one. Stay right here. Don't move. Johnny Depp. No, Beyonce came, did that Zeppelin thing. It was crazy. And she lip synced, and her lips are beautiful. And let me get one. Hold on. All right, I'm back. So here's my new salvage custom pedal board case. Is this bitchin' or what? Seriously. Is that cool? I'm thrilled about that. I gotta wire it all up. So here's the new shirts we made. Pretty sweet, huh? And then we're going to make some of these too. So yeah, we have shirts here. You can order them through your dealers. And then we'll probably sell them direct later. I just don't have time right now. $0. You left off a 2 on the front there. There you go, Doug. How about girl tank tops? Yeah, we need to do that. Oh, hi, Anita. Yeah, we need to do that too. Let's see, what did I miss? Plans to make a low voltage high gain with master voltage on all amps. It's not high gain, it's high current. But yes, we're going to go that direction with our hand wired stuff. It's really, really well received. And what we're seeing right now, I mean, our producer ELs that have been out for a year and a half, no one's blown a tube yet. We've never blown a tube. So, Blue One Tot Strek Max Guitar. Okay. I don't know what Tot Strek means. I'm assuming that's some Dutch cuss words. Maybe. Bumper stickers, 65 thongs. All right, or bustiers. Yeah, little banana hammocks. Has a 65 right on your package. Josh nails it once again. And Josh earns his pay. Hey, Frank. FS75 is our friend Frank Schottefer. Do you know anything about the new G12H75 Creamback? Anita, you did miss it. Quick summary, fantastic. It went really, really well. Oh, that's right. I have no voice. You can always tell how well NAMM went. You'll have to watch the recording, sweetheart. I apologize. It was really good. Picked up some new artists. New amps are really well received. Booth went over fantastic. And we had a whole lot of fun, and arguably the best NAMM party we've ever had. So it was very sweet. Oh, she put a red heart up. Thank you, Anita, you sweet thing. Coasters, pints, and shot glasses. Okay. You guys really want some 65 merch, huh? Okay. I can make it all. It's no problem. 65 mankini. The G12H75 Creamback. Once again, back to Frank's question. It's a really good speaker. It's kind of like a high-powered M. You know how M's can get. You're very welcome, Joe, for the party. I'm really glad you could make it. The Creamback, it's actually a 65, I think, not a 75. But it's, M's can get kind of papery. You can push them into sort of that papery distortion real quick. And with the Creamback, not with our amps, you can't push them that hard because they're higher wattage. But they're still really quick and responsive like the low wattage speakers are, because a lot of the heavier wattage speakers, they feel kind of brrr. They're kind of tough. They're stiff, and for a low powered amp, they just don't respond. They're kind of muddy. I did not. Sorry, this is Hall's gum to keep my throat going. Yeah, it's. I like it. I like it a lot. I think it's really good. Is there a free T-shirt if you buy 3 Tupelos? If you buy 3 Tupelos, I will give you 10 shirts. I know, I'm giving it away. I'm selling the farm. You buy 3 Tupelos, I'll give you 10 shirts. You know what I'm saying? You think I'm kidding. That's not an idle threat, my friend. 3 Tupelos, 10 shirts. I'm full of crap, I know. So, anyway, girl tank tops, Anita. That's a good idea. And I've seen your profile picture. I think that would be a very flattering shirt on you. I'm not going to be vulgar on my show, but let's just speak the truth here. It would make the shirt look very nice. I do need to rest. Eric Storr, good question. Will there be a Premier Guitar video from the 65 booth this year? I'm going to call out Premier Guitar right now. Rebecca Dirks, I love you. You're like my kid. Really, I feel like Uncle Dan or your dad. We had an appointment on Friday at 3:45, and they didn't show up. I got skunked by Premier Guitar, and we're really good friends with those people. I know Rebecca well enough. I'm sure something serious came up. Or she probably got offended at our booth. So I'm really bummed out about that. We had an appointment. We're all set. Friday at 3:45. That hurts right here. Right here in my heart. I don't know what to say. Except for make it up to me. Come over here to the shop. Let's do a video. She was busy at your place. You saw her leaving with Johnny Depp. Well, fair enough. I mean, hell, I'd left with Johnny Depp. That's fine. Rebecca's such a cute kid, isn't she? She probably gets mad at me for calling her a kid, but she's a kid. She's a cute kid. And she's so sweet and so nice. And we wish her all the best. I'm old enough to be her dad, so I got to be careful how that comes across. I mean it in the best of all possible ways, but she's just a darling kid. I have a lot of videos from the booth. I just haven't posted anything yet because I've been working. Knowing Rebecca, she probably ran into a bunch of rock stars and they kidnapped her and said, no, come to our hotel room or we're going to go out to dinner. And she went, okay. Hey, Pink Paisley. Yes, I could use some rest. Is it that obvious? I'm still recovering from NAMM. I was up at 5:45 this morning. Arne Haas, for you Norwegian guys, Arne Haas stayed at my house. And I had to take him to LAX this morning. I left my house at like 5:45. What was the feedback about our booth? Everyone seemed to really love it, and it was constantly being photographed. which was kind of weird because we're there demoing guitars and you see these flashes going off in your peripheral vision all the time. I guess because it's just different. Yeah, everyone commented on it. Everyone really liked it. I think Bass Gear Magazine is going to give us an award for the best NAMM booth or something. Yeah, it was a hit. It was good. I had one retailer offer to buy it for his store. I said, how much? I said, $100,000. Oh, no, how about 10? I'm like, well, it cost me more than that to make it. So, yeah. Let's see, the chat window just skipped all the way to the top for some reason. Yeah, well, I think we're going to a new business of making sound booths that look like amps now. We got that CNC machine. It makes it so easy. It makes it very easy to do it. And if you guys just logging in, to summarize, NAMM was great. It's really, really good. And we're just in here working our skinny little butts off right now, trying to get caught up and write up all these orders. What's up next after NAMM? We're just going to be making amps. Yeah, the booth will be here in the shop. We have our old booth now that we're using as our sound testing room. I don't know if we'll set the new booth up or not. We might just leave it in storage so it doesn't get messed up before next year. What's up next after NAMM? We are building like crazy. And I'm going to do a bunch of clinics this spring as well. I think I'm going to Norway. I'm going to England. I know of right now. We booked those during NAMM. And I'm probably doing a lot of local ones here at True Tone and stuff like that. So, yeah, man, it was good. Any strange NAMM stories? Well, there's always a lot of strangers at NAMM. Yeah, I'd like to do my show in the NAMM booth. That's a good idea. Come to Chicago. Yeah, I think I'm gonna. I talked with Teddy at Making Music about doing that, and also the guys at Chicago Music Exchange. So between one of them, I'll probably get there. I'd love to come to Chicago, but not right now. I know you guys are having freakishly warm weather, though, aren't you? Man, my family's in Missouri, and they're having like 65, 70 degrees in January. I mean, it should be like 8. This is weird. Yeah, in Chicago, Dom, what's your favorite store? You like Making Music or Chicago Music Exchange better? You know, we sell at Making Music, but the guys at Chicago Music Exchange want our amps too, so we're trying to figure. And Teddy's kind of okay with it. He doesn't care. Teddy's been with us the whole time, so he's not too worried about it. What is your hopes for an ETA on the first batch of PCBs? Probably this summer. We'll try to get them on sale by maybe September. I mean, the development time on these is just way faster. I mean, literally you draw it up on a computer and you get boards 2 days later. It's not like this. It's not like building a prototype, a hand wired, which takes 2 months. You know. Both are very nice. That's what we understand. Both stores in Chicago are really nice. So yeah, Norway in the summer, probably late spring, I think. Why are we making PCBs then? Mainly so we can offer some more affordable stuff, and I think there's a big vulnerability in the PCB. If I'm going to be honest, you know, like when I'm sitting around talking to my business partners about this, here's the real reason I want to do PCBs. 2 reasons. One of which is most PCB stuff out there is complete shit. That's harsh. I don't know anything about a Shure Badger. I'm sorry. I don't know. I've never played one. So most PCBs that are out there now are really mediocre. That's the diplomatic way to say it. And we can make a great one. at roughly the same price. The stuff's, not $500, but $1,000. I know how to build a PCB that is not fragile, as Stratocaster Mojo pointed out. Sounds every bit as good as a hand-wired amp. Hand-wired is more fun, but you get all the options. And the way to do it is you use a big heavy board and you use big heavy traces. They don't bend and crack and messes up your whole amp, which happens with most of the Chinese-made PCBs. The tubes aren't going to unsolder themselves. The grid resistor is not going to unsolder itself from the board, that kind of stuff. We use big fat pads for everything, and we use the same components. Pikachu says, I've heard and played the Sheer Badger, and I'm a huge fan of John's guitars. Yeah, he makes great guitars. The Soho and the Monterey blew it out of the water, in my opinion. I don't know anything about John Suhr's amps. I'm sure they're fine. I've just never played one. We just make stuff we like. So, but anyway, I think there's a big vulnerability in the PCB market because everybody kind of goes, well, PCB amp's $900, and it is what it is. It's kind of a throwaway amp. No one buys those amps and thinks of them as a keeper. We're going to make keepers. There's a couple guys making PCB amps that are keepers. Reinhold Bogner, Peter Dietzel, Andy Marshall at THD, Mike Soldano, Boogies, those sorts of things. If PCB can sound as good as a hand-wired amp, why are you making hand-wired stuff? And it's more fun. I like it. Any opinion on the PCB quality of the late model Marshalls, like Simple Circuits or the G? I don't really know them very well, Joe, to be honest. I've owned JTM 45s, and I know the new ones don't sound like the old ones. The new ones sound good, they just don't. They're similar, they're really similar, but it's kind of hard to judge because, those amps were made with Mullards, and they all had hand-wound transformers in them. And it's just a different animal. I think the new ones sound fine. I wouldn't use one myself, but I think they're a good amp. It's kind of hard to go out and pay like $2,000 for a brand new Marshall reissue when you can go out and buy the original for that. So it's all right. Hey, Todd, doing my show. What's going on? It's okay. What's up? Any emergency?
Yeah, I gotta move the van.
Oh.
There's your keys.
Yeah. Sorry. There's a semi in the way coming in.
Alright.
Yeah, it's the big black key. Thanks, man. Sorry about that. No radio spares in the new amps. That's right. Yeah, the JTM 45 had radio spares, transformers, and then when it became the JTM 50, eventually the Plexi, it had Dagnall and Drake transformers in it. So it's just a different animal. It's hard to say better or worse. They're just different. Hey, King Darko, how are you? Well, guys, I hate to cut it short today. I'm exhausted, as you can tell, and my voice is starting to fade. I'm moving closer and closer to the mic so I can keep the levels up. Pikachu says, yeah, Randall Aiken made great PCB amps, and he made a military style, which is what we're going to do. I tell you what, next week I'll bring the prototype Venter and I can show it to you. You'll just go look at it and then go look inside your PCB amp and you'll go, oh shit, okay, I see the difference. It's a big thing. I'm sorry to be short. I know we usually go an hour and a half, but I'm fading fast. So anyway, thank you guys. Let me announce this one more time about a stolen amp before we go, okay? Our good friend Tim Mitchell, who's on the show a lot as Death Ride 69. Thank you guys for all those kind words. I appreciate it. Wireless caller.
Call from wireless caller. Call from wireless caller. caller. Call from wireless caller.
Once this is done, yeah, I'll get some videos of the shop. I'll just do it with my phone for now. You can see it. Anyway, Tim Mitchell had his Ventura head stolen at NAMM, which means a vendor stole it. The only way you can get stuff out of that building is if you have a vendor sheet and you have to show them your ID and your badge. So that means a vendor stole it. And here's the serial number. It's a Ventura head. Write this down. Put this all over Facebook, would you please? Because I'm going to. All over Facebook, everywhere you know. Put it on the 65 amps page, the fans of 65. Spread it around the world. It's a Ventura head, serial number 1211101. So VH, Ventura head. VH1211101. I'm going to say it one more time. Please write it. I'm going to cut and paste it into here. You guys can cut and paste it onto Facebook and Twitter and everything else. Here it comes. There it is. So cut and paste that right now. Spread it all over the world. If you guys can find that amp, I will do something very nice for you, I promise. This is important stuff. We're all guitar players here, and if guitar players don't take care of each other, no one else will. And the person who stole this amp is... can I say cuss words? Do you guys mind? He's a fucking asshole, and we need to find him and get this amp back. Yeah, you can say, Anita, that it was stolen at NAMM. Now, we don't want to hurt the guy. We want to be legal and safe and do all those things. But we need to get the amp back, and this guy needs to go to jail. So look on Craigslist, look on eBay. Of course, spread it all over Facebook and Twitter and Google Plus and all that stuff. Thank you, RJ. I appreciate you guys, and seriously. Tim's a very good friend of mine, and I'm just heartbroken that somebody would have stolen it at NAMM. And like I say, the only way to get that off the floor is to be stolen by another vendor. So that qualifies as grade A USDA prime bullshit. And let's chase this guy down. All right. All right, fellas and young lady. Thank you for spending your time with me. It's always a pleasure to spend some time with you. And I'll be back next week. I'm going to try to get my rig kind of started. And so we can get back to playing guitar. You guys have been very patient with me just having these chat shows every week. Come next week with a ton of questions. I'll have my voice back. And great to see you too, Anita. I'm sure you look fantastic. I can't see you. But, and I'm going to go ahead and sign off. And I'll talk to you soon. You can always get a hold of me, Dan at 65amps.com. I'm on Facebook. There's the Fans of 65 Amps Facebook page. If you're not a member on the Fans of 65 Amps, sign up today. You'll get more of the inside poop. And then there's the regular 65 Amps Facebook page. And I'm on Google+. I'm on Twitter as 65Dan, hashtag 65Dan. And I'll see you guys in a week. Thank you so very much, and we'll see you soon. Bye-bye.